All right, greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to the Crypto Truth, where I give you the truth as I see it. It has been, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks since my last video, and yeah, a lot has happened, I must say. We're gonna get started by kind of going over the overall market. Then we'll bump into some info here. You guys can see at the top here, and then some news, and then we're gonna jump into Holo and HoloChain. And someone asked, did my one of my subscribers asked, do I still believe that hot can reach $1? I'm gonna go ahead and answer that question, but first I'm gonna talk about these things before I talk about Holo and HoloChain. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. And so right now we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin is obviously doing well. It's at 118.6. We see here that the volume's going up. Look at this, market cap is still low. It's still low, and it's at this point. So this tells me that there are a lot of inflows, not only into Bitcoin, but also it tells me that we're not even close to hitting altcoin season. And look at the Bitcoin dominance up here is at 62.8%. ETH has been at 10.2%. And I remember a time, I believe like ETH was at like 15-20%. And that's where we kind of sort of get the altcoin season. But I think this is a nice metric that the CoinMarketCap has, because I always tell people, especially on X, I'm like, look, we have not hit altcoin season yet. And when we're altcoin season, you guys will know. And I really like this metric here. But let's go ahead and get into Bitcoin. Continuing on, we see that, look at that circulating supply, 19.89 million. We all know that there's 21 million. The institutions have been buying up Bitcoin like crazy. I'm not surprised. Many of us, I know that there are a lot of people who hold altcoins and hope to purchase Bitcoin after altcoin season. So we will definitely check that out to see about that. All right. Ethereum. Ethereum is at 3,100. It's doing well, but it definitely could be doing better. We'll see as time goes by. I'm not really a huge fan of ETH in particular, but ETH does have a lot of layer 2s that people want to participate in. And there are a lot of coins and tokens on ETH that will definitely benefit from ETH success. ERC20 tokens have been very simple. They do have a lot of what do you call it? Man, sorry you guys, I kind of sort of just woke up. But they do fees, gas fees. All right, XRP is at 298. I mean, it's still not at its all-time high from like 100 years ago. So like, but I will say that XRP has been on the up and up. So if anyone bought XRP at the bottom, the XRP army is still alive, still very much alive. And you can definitely tell that there's a sense in the air that XRP is going to make it. We're going to get into XRP a little bit later as well, because we're going to talk about stablecoins up here a little bit later. And I do believe that XRP is going to make it. And I also have a couple other reasons why XRP is going to make it. One, because I believe that the SWIFT system is going to be dead. And I think that, and this is my own personal opinion, I think that as President Trump continues to force other countries to use the SWIFT system, they don't want to be handcuffed. They want to be able to do whatever they want to do with their with their money. So they want to be able to trade in the local currency, and they don't want outside interference. And if I was a country, I'd want the same thing. I'm just not gonna lie. And so, other than the SWIFT system, I believe that XRP could definitely take over the SWIFT system, and I do believe that's going to happen. Now, I don't give, I don't really give price predictions, but a lot of times, and I always say price predictions are always wrong. But XRP is one of these. I have full confidence. That XRP will at least hit $10 to $15 within this cycle. I have full confidence. Obviously there's a caveat to that, as long as the fundamentals are there, they continue to expand, and they don't have any crazy stuff happening like the SEC trying to chokehold them out of existence. So Tether, obviously Tether is going to do well. This is a stablecoin. We're going to get into that whole stablecoin thing in just a second here. I'm not a huge fan of Solana, as you guys already know, for various reasons, but it is what it is. When altcoin season happens, everyone's gonna be successful. We're gonna talk about exit strategies later when I give my price prediction on Hot and Holo chain. But hey, a lot of coins are gonna make it. There are a lot of developers building on Solana. We have USDC. Like I told you guys before, USDC is going to be the be all end all at some point, because I think they're trying to get rid of Tether. I don't think they're going to be able to, but I do see the moves that those connected to USDC are doing. I'm not going to get too deep into it because I don't want to start getting tinfoil hattie, but yeah. We have the Dogecoin, Cardano, Hyperliquid. Stellar is still up here, and Stellar is one of those ones that has been sticky throughout the years. It's actually amazing, considering how it's like a competitor to XRP. Stellar has been doing extremely well, and so yeah. SWI, there's SWI. I'm not gonna talk about SWI. I don't talk about the rest of these. You guys know I'm not really a fan of hetero hash graph at all. I'm actually more a fan of a Shiba Inu than hetero hash graph, but that's for personal reasons. I don't understand why Litecoin is at 21. I honestly think it should be higher. But if you guys could pay attention and look at this, look at it's 76.08, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, while there are only 21 million Bitcoin, and if I'm not mistaken, what was the maximum for Litecoin? I keep forgetting. Oh, max supply 84 million. So there's 21 million and there's 84 million. And if you guys can look here, let's see here, and we're at 76 million. So you guys can clearly see that yeah, we're nearing the maximum allowed, and that even Shiba Inu, but Shiba Inu, that's a asterisk stat. So we'll see what's going on with Shiba Inu. I do think that Shiba Inu, especially in this bull run, could do a lot. A lot of people are going, look, when the bull run happens, when altcoin season happens, everybody's going to make money. It's all going to depend on what your exit strategy is, and we'll talk about all that later. I'm not talking about freaking meme coins. I'm not doing that. Yeah, so that's kind of what the market is looking like. Internet computer, look. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to say something, but I'm skipping ahead, so we're just gonna leave it alone. I do like the fact that VeChain is up here. They're doing well as well. doing well as well. These freaking meme coins gotta go, man. Official Trump, it's bullshit. Gotta go. All of this stuff gotta go. They gotta go, and they will, and they will fall apart. And I have a lot of reasons for it why I believe that. Obviously, not. It's not gonna happen anytime soon, but I cannot wait till we get some till we get some real tokens in the top, and it actually reflects their technology. We see here that the fear and greed, we're at 68% greed. This is going to fluctuate. Every time we go up, we get bad news, or we get slightly bad news. What was the other day? Says, oh man, it said, what was it? CPI numbers were high, and then, or low. I forgot what it was. No, higher than expected, and then there are other, inflation, excuse me. Inflation was higher than expected, and then we get CPI numbers that are a little bit lower, and now everybody's happy again. Look, at the end of the day, right now, it is all about advertising. It is all about, and I hate to say this, but it is all about kind of flexing your muscles and showing what your project can do, and what your token can do, and how it can make either someone a lot of money, or how it's going to be the future. One of the two. It has to be able to explain those things, or your project or whatever you're investing in is not going to make it. Not this bull cycle anyway. And let's be honest here. Well, I'll be 100 years old before the next bull cycle. It's like that I feel like it's been 8 years since we had a real true bull run. But for many of us, for 4 years, we might as well turn 100 years old. But anyway, we're gonna take a look. I'm gonna bounce back here and go to RWA, and we'll get into these in a second. But let's go ahead and move forward here. Let's talk about this crypto bill. So it says Trump cuts deal to end Republican revolt on crypto bills. Now, it says Donald Trump says he's cut a deal with most of the Republican lawmakers that voted against moving forward with 3 bills over wanting an explicit ban on CBDCs. And that is absolutely legit. It's a shame that he had to cut a deal about CBDCs, but the reality of it is that we cannot. So there's going to be a ban on CBDCs, but there's an asterisk to that, because while there will be a ban on it, you might as well have a CBD. It's not a CBDC, but what's going to happen is all of that money that possibly would be in creating CBDCs are going to be created in building stable coins. And that's where we're going to really get into some macro perspective. So U.S. President Trump says he has convinced most of the Republican lawmakers to pull support from 3 crypto bills to vote in favor of them when the House meets again on Wednesday. Trump said in a post on his Truth Social platform on Tuesday that he met with 11 of the 12 representatives of the Oval Office and convinced them to vote in favor of legislation. I am in the Oval Office with 11 to 12 congressmen necessary to pass the Genius Act. After a short discussion, they all have agreed to vote tomorrow morning in favor of the rule. He said a short discussion. So whatever he said, it must have been quick. A revolt against 3 crypto bills was canned on Tuesday as lawmakers pull support. 13 lawmakers pull support, wanting to add a ban on central bank digital currencies. And I really applaud their them being bold and standing up against CBDCs. And that tells me also that these 13 lawmakers, Republican lawmakers, are very educated within the crypto space, as we see a lot of these Maxine Waters and a couple of these other people that they're idiots. They have no idea what is happening in the crypto space. And a lot, honestly, a lot of people in America and across the world have no idea about what cryptocurrency is, or what it's about, or what the purpose is, and what is the philosophy behind it. And we're going to get into that as well. So at the end of the day, I did listen to this. This is pretty cool. She just said, hey, you know, we don't want CBDCs. She just basically says Americans don't want CBDCs. And that is true. We don't want CBDCs. So, but let's go ahead and move forward here. Legacy Finance discovers stablecoins as JP Morgan Citigroup considers market in entry. Look, people, here's what's about to happen. I'm gonna tell you a short story real quick. I was in Walmart and I saw that they added another payment. Like, you know how they have like Walmart Plus and stuff like that. They have like something called a Walmart wallet or whatever. So now, if I'm not mistaken, I have to look further into it, but I was like, what is that? Apparently, I guess you can either have credits or something to have like the Walmart. Basically, at the end of the day, what they're doing is they're preparing for CBDC. I'm not CBDCs. They're preparing for stablecoins. They're preparing to create a stablecoin. So in Walmart, we already know that Walmart has already looked into building a stablecoin. So let me ask you guys, what's going to happen when we have all of these companies talking about how they want to build a stablecoin? Right now, we're going to have all of these stable coins and it's going to be scattered all over the place, which again is going to confuse people because they're going to be like, well, what can I do with this? Well, you can only purchase things here with this. And it's kind of like eventually it sound cool, but people are not, they're not going to participate and be like, I don't want to do this. Because like, why would I want to do this? I can just use my fiat and then I can use that anywhere. So again, I'm going way far ahead on what I think is going to happen, but here we go. JP Morgan Chase, the largest bank in the US. By the way, JP Morgan is not a huge fan of crypto and Bitcoin. Has plans to be involved, quote unquote, with stablecoins. According to Daily Diamonds, JP Morgan's move to the stablecoin space is partly driven by competition from fintech companies, which are increasingly trying to replicate features of the traditional financial system. We're going to be involved in both JP Morgan deposit coin and stablecoins to understand it, to be good at it, Diamond said. I think they're real, but I don't know why you'd want to use a stablecoin as opposed to just payment. And he has some merit in what he's saying here. You don't want to pour all of this money into developing something in which people are going to be like, why don't I just use my money? This is exactly what I just said. And while I don't agree with a lot of JP Morgan or Diamond's comments, I do believe that he has a solid point. And we're going to get into this as well as we start talking about holochain and HOT, is exactly why people are going to start struggling understanding all of this stuff, right? A lot of people don't understand that there are different DLTs. They don't even understand that there are different ledgers. They don't know what a DLT is, not alone a blockchain ledger, and what the differences are for different projects. They're just confused, right? And it's unfortunate, but this is where we are. So yeah, but stable coins are going to, a lot of companies are going to start looking into this whole stable coin thing. Look here, man, they spend millions and millions of dollars on stuff that's not going to work. I just need them to send me $1 million. That's what I need. Hey, just send me $1 million, and I promise you, I'll be one less human you ever have to worry about, because that's really all I need. I know a lot of people need multi-millions of dollars to be happy and to survive and do all these kind of things. But for me, nope, I just need to make sure that I get out of debt and I live my life peacefully. Obviously, I would put my money off to the side, most of it off to the side, and then just let it grow over time. And then there's my retirement. But that's personal stuff. Excuse me. Okay, so let's jump into Holo here. As we know, I'm a little bit late on this, a lot bit late on this, but they have their new website with Holo hosting. And let's I'm not going to go through every little thing, but you guys can go ahead and check that out. Many of you guys have already checked it out. We have Holo. You know, it's a better website than what they had before. There you have it where you can request a demo. We're looking at the product here, looking at product roadmap. We see that the roadmap, you know, obviously they're still building, hosting products, and you can see here that, you know, they're trying to get their static site hosting, high velo integration. I believe that's Q3. Holo port management, platform infrastructure, hosting products and collaboration tools in Q4. And we'll see. We'll see if they're able to maximize and really really do what really go by their roadmap. For many of us who have been involved and followed the Holo chain organization for a while, we know that there has been a lot of promises and things that they're looking into, but honestly, a lot of things have either been pushed back, slowed down, and we'll see. They've recently changed their approach, their business structure approach, and we will see where they'll go from there. I have my comments on that, but I'm going to leave that for a little bit later. Core components, we have here that, you know, they kind of talk about what the services is. Base P for per geography, one node in a single geographic region. We're looking at 25 a month, and obviously you can see all of these extra nodes that require your chosen SLA, 20 per month. They have different services here, so this is one of the first times we actually saw prices for their hosting, but we also know that there's not a lot of demand for it, at least not right now, or that we know of. We go into currency. Holo's approach to pricing payments and currency. Holo's approach, and this is important. We're gonna have a nice little chat. So if many of you guys aren't ready to hear a slight rant, usually rants are in a negative tone, but I mean this in a very non-biased tone. Look, I'm called the crypto truth, not the crypto make believe, or not the crypto lie. I just tell you guys the truth as I see it, and that just is what it is. Holo's approach to pricing, payments, and currency reflects our commitment to creating a fair and efficient distributed hosting ecosystem. While implementing HoloFuel remains our goal, we currently accept HOT as needed several national currencies as payment for hosting services. Okay, there's a whole lot wrong with this statement, and I'm saying wrong with this statement. First off, while we're implementing HoloFuel remains our goal, we accept HOT and as needed several national currencies as payment for hosting. Why not just say HOT? Because at this point, you're confusing people. You just really are. And they've been talking about HoloFuel for years. And yes, Eric Harris Braun has talked about it. He's talked about how they weren't as far as they thought they were, or they kept running into roadblocks. And one of the reasons why in the past, I gave HOT $1 for the next bull run was honestly, I just believed that that they were at a certain point, in which they talked about as if they were at a certain point and ready to launch and ready to do certain things, and they weren't. And then obviously I've made a lot of videos on HOT and HoloFuel, and I've stated many times, why in the hell are you guys just advertising HoloFuel, something that doesn't even exist? You advertise HoloFuel, you talk about HoloFuel when it exists. It doesn't even exist. And not only that, but there's still questions behind it. So now people, when they read this, they're going to be like, while implementing HoloFuel remains our goal. Well, what do you mean? What is your goal? Your goal is HoloFuel? What is that? What's happening with that? What are we doing with that? What are the fundamentals for that? And people are going to look into that and they're like, okay, we currently accept hot and as needed several national currencies as payment for hosting services. So we currently accept hot and as needed. Currently, does that mean that in the future you guys won't be accepting hot? And we talked about this before with this whole, a lot of people have gotten confused. I've said this over and over and over and over and over and over again. I've made special videos on this. Stop confusing people. HoloFuel is not in existence. It doesn't exist right now. And your HoloFuel based payment system is probably not going to exist for the next 6 months. I'm gonna call it out right now. It's not going to exist in the next 6 months. Not. It's when I say it's not going to exist, I'm saying that it is not a real thing. For 6 months, it is not going to be a real thing. From here to the end of the year, I don't think it's going to be a real thing. I'm sorry. I don't think it's going to exist. Now, there's paper notes that says, oh, you earn this much HoloFuel. Now, you guys know I've had a HoloPort. I have since then cut off my HoloPort because, like, it wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing anything. So it is what it is. Maybe when they start doing more testing, I'll turn on my HoloPort, and obviously they'll probably be giving HoloFuel out for that. But let's be real. While I do have some HoloFuel, I can't do nothing with it. It's not, and then the whole switch over thing with hot and HoloFuel. I've talked about this at length, and once again, it seems like they, over time, if you guys watch my videos, over time, they're kind of slowly getting into things in which I recommended and not told them, but I recommended that they do long time ago. So we have people confused about CBDCs. We have people confused about blockchain technology. We have people who don't understand that there are different distributed ledger technologies, or DLTs. And you mean to tell me that you're going to introduce something that does not even exist called HoloFuel and have people try to look that up and understand exactly what the hell is going on with that? Come on, man. Just say hot. We accept hot for our payments. And then in a different tone, say, hey, here's our future. We're going to switch. We're going to talk about HoloFuel and our goals and different things like that. And obviously, I think that was in a green paper or whatever. And you guys know I've actually read the green paper, made a video and read the green paper to you guys. Point is, look, I don't know. I don't understand this. I really don't. Now, we're going to sandwich this a bit, right? And we're going to talk about all of the good things about all of this. While this does confuse people, they are stating that, hey, we need hot. And as needed and it just says as needed. But we need hot. And they're saying that, and they took, they'll definitely take dollars for sure, because I mean, let's be real, hardly nobody in America has hot. Ever since Binance left America, they left America, and then all of us had to do something with our hot token, and then Binance US did not adopt hot. Nobody, no exchange, no major exchange, or I don't even know a minor exchange that accepts hot on their exchange or exchanges hot. So that is a really good news, actually, because there are a lot of positive fundamentals about the hot token, about the product that they're doing. The technology that it's behind, which is the holochain technology. We'll get into that as well. There are a lot of positives going on here. And when I see that, it tells me, with the ignorance of everyone in the crypto space, about all of these things, you can take it as a negative about how slow that they've been developing, or you can take it definitely as a positive, as in it's going to be a long time. And I don't know how far they're going to go in this bull run, but it's going to be a long time before people fully understand exactly what this technology does. But also, on the caveat to that is the reason why a lot of people don't understand is because the company and organization have been either transparent, and I understand we're going to get into transparency because obviously they have a new roadmap and different things like that, but we don't know what they're doing. And we do know that what they're trying to do for as far as the big picture, the macro picture, right? But you have to get there. Yeah, I want to feed all the hungry in the whole entire world, and nobody can ever be hungry again. But how do you get there, right? How do you get to that point? Well, there's a lot of things that have to happen and change before you actually get to that point. So while we're talking about changing the world and different monetary system and different things like that, there's a lot of steps that you got to do before you actually get to that point. I'm just saying. So, yeah, there's a lot here. There's a lot here, just in this statement. And this also tells me that honestly, I don't know who their PR person is, but they really need to get it together. It says Holo will accept payments for hosting services, primarily the hot token, with additional support for national currencies such as USD and Euro. This approach allows us to leverage the prepaid hosting credits from our 2018 while we work toward a fully integrated HoloFuel based system. So again, this might be the reason why, again, because of all of the craziness and the confusion, this might be the reason why they're having such a hard time getting in the United States. But I don't know that. We all don't know that. We don't know what the issue is. They don't talk about it. So we'll see. And they stated that they have applied, and that they're working on trying to get hot in the US. But I mean, yeah. All right. So transparent and scalable transaction between hosts and users. HoloFuel, the future of hosting payments. So HoloFuel is a mutual credit currency designed to power the Holo ecosystem, enabling efficient, transparent, scalable transaction between hosts and users. We have the unit of account. HoloFuel will serve as an international accounting system, pricing, payments, and resource allocation, dynamic host-based pricing, direct peer payments, sustainability, and scalability. And then it talks out here, once HoloFuel is implemented as the payment system with the Holo network, holders will have an opportunity. Here we go again. They've been talking about this for a long time, for HoloFuel at a 1-to-1 ratio, at least for 6 months, ensuring continuity for early supporters of the ecosystem. HoloFuel represents our vision of a decentralized peer-powered hosting network where hosts and users interact directly, enabled by fair and efficient payments. Okay, HoloChain Foundation just talks about the Holo Foundation, and we'll get into that in just a second. I do appreciate the fact that they're trying to the future of hot to HoloFuel, but once again, all of this is extremely confusing. And and I know a lot of people are like, well, it's not confusing to me. Well, you know what? People still don't understand what blockchain technology is. People still don't understand, and I'm literally kicking the dead horse here, but a lot of people in America and across the country don't really understand what the hell's going on. And for many reasons, they have other things to worry about, not trying to dig extremely deep into a project that doesn't seem to have been reliable. And not only that, not many people are still talking about HoloChain and HOT. You know, I try to research and watch videos where people talk about HOT and HOT and the HoloChain. Some people still get things confused as far as Holo hosting and Holo and HoloChain. They still get that confused, which I don't blame them. But a lot of people, they're just starting and they're trying to figure it out. So yeah, it's very interesting. I would not have made this move. I would just basically talk about, and I wouldn't say it's being deceptive. I would say it's being, hey, and I do agree that they are being transparent with this. They're saying, hey, we're gonna have hot, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch over to the payment of HoloFuel and the hot, which begs the question: why in the hell would anybody purchase hot? And they are stating like, oh well, you know, they're gonna use hot in order to create they're going to use Holo in order to create revenue for HoloChain. But guess what? You have to create value. And again, because this HoloFuel thing is taking so long, and many people, could you guys imagine? There's 177 billion hot? Okay. You know what? I'm not going to get into that because I already made a lot of videos. You guys can go take a look at my videos about hot and HoloFuel. My opinion still stands with those videos, by the way, and they was made a while ago. So let's go ahead and move forward here before I go ahead and go into a rant and go way off the trail. Okay, so HoloChain on Twitter, what was it? Nathan was stating, I guess someone was talking about the roadmap, and he was stating there's a difference between hot and Holo, and it's a shame that you still have to explain that to people, but that is what it is because not a lot of people know about Holo and HoloChain. And the reason why a lot of people don't know the differences between Holo and HoloChain is because, well, they have not been either advertising or they have not been talking about their project. This is one project where I just really don't understand. The CEOs are I'm not saying they're hiding, but maybe they got other things to do. But I just don't understand how people like Brad Garlinghouse, how people like Charles Hoskinson can go up. They have many things that they're doing, but they're always in front of people, always saying, hey, this is what we're trying to do. This is what's going on. This is from the horse's mouth. And we're not trying to get receive any information. And really, while you guys know me and Charles are the bestest of friends because we get along so well. I talk to him all the time. I'm just kidding, by the way. I don't know who the hell. I mean, I know who he is, but I don't know him personally. But you guys know I've made many strong statements about his personality and about his leadership ability. But he's very vocal. And he's out there. And same thing with Brad Garlinghouse, and they talk about their projects and they talked about where they're going to go. And here, I guess this is a way for the devs, I should say for HoloChain organization to say, hey, here's where we are, here's what we're doing, and this is what's next. And you guys can see here that this is pretty cool. But again, where we are, and let me go ahead and start segueing into my hot prediction. Where we are, nobody cares about any of this stuff. It's great, it's fundamentals, it's awesome, but nobody cares about any of this stuff. You know what they care about? They care about what are you saying, what are you trying to do, and give us hope. And honestly, that's what this is. People are looking forward to hope. And when we look at real world assets, which we're going to go back here, as I said, we're going to come back here to real world assets, and people are like, hey, we need some things that's going to help us. It's going to move forward, right? So let me ask you guys this. Does HoloChain have a better technology than Stellar, Chainlink, Hedera, Avalanche, Ondo, Algorand? By the way, this is a RWA section which I love. I love the transition with CoinMarketCap and the things that they've done, right? Let's see here. Ondo. We got Avalanche, Ondo, Algorand, VeChain, Sky, Quant, Injective, Pax Gold, IOTA, Tether, Pendle, Maple Finance, Reserve Rights, XLR, Accreditation. And you guys are getting them. Oh my God. Baby Dogecoin, Synthesis, Mantra, Ravecoin, Plum, Usual USD, Chia, Polymesh. I know I skipped a couple, but I'm just going down here. Clearpool, Centrifuge, Venus, Proppy, Lisk, Chromia, Strike. All right. So real world assets, guess what? Holochain's not there. Interesting, huh? Is that so surprising? Well, let's click on this. DePIN, decentralized physical infrastructure, right? All right, so maybe it's here. We got at 30 T-Bent. I can't even pronounce that. Internet computer. Does Holochain have a better, better technology than that? Render, Filecoin, and by the way, I am saying Holochain, but I do understand that for me personally, they all kind of run into each other, right? So with the hot token, obviously that would jump into possibly RWA. Really, with the combination of hot and Holochain, they can jump into many of these different categories, including memes. You know what? Maybe they should put a meme coin on Holochain, and we'll call it Duck Duck Goose, right? I can almost guarantee you that it, you know what? Let me stop. Okay. Render, Filecoin, IOTA, Data Network, BitTorrent, Walrus, Helium. A lot of people compare Hot to Helium or Weave. IO's Network, Multiverse, Aether, Akash Network, LivePeer, Zebek Network, Grass, Veda Fuel, Golem, IoTex, Biodex, Siacon. What in the world? How many is that? It doesn't give me a like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So technically it's ranked 24 in decentralized, or I should say Holo or Hot is ranked 24 in decentralized decentralized physical infrastructure, or DPINs, right? Wow. And so the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this bull cycle, this bull run, I don't care how far you are or what your technology does. I care, but I'm saying as far as where I'm going with this, you can have the best tech in the world, but if you are not properly advertising your product, and giving people hope, not like lying to them, but saying, hey, here's what we're trying to do, and this is what we can do. Holochain is better than blockchain, and let me explain to you why. The hot token, when we're talking about Holo hosting, it's better than, I don't know, Helium, Baldex, whatever the hell that is. It's better than any of these things. And here's why. And here's what we're going to do. And we're going to change the world. And this is our message to the world, right? So either, and there's two sides to this. one, this hurts and has hurt many people who have invested in the hot token long time ago, and it has people have lost their hope. They are not very confident anymore with HoloChain and the hot organization. By the way, let's take a look at it. I want to take a look at this here. There's 175 billion hot. Look at this. You see this? You see this? Talks about circulating supply. Look at this. It's not even like, why are there so many tokens? And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. Sorry about that. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't really understand the psychology for creating 175 billion hot when you knew you were going to transfer into HoloFuel, and people, which HoloFuel will be a micro payment, but with the micro payments, right? You mean you create, basically they created something. Hey, we'll make a little bit off of this, and then guess what? There's still a whole lot left over. You can tank it. You can do whatever. It doesn't matter. I just don't understand. And HoloFuel, by the way, has a very static. I talked about this in my video. It has a very static approach. So there is no maximum supply for HoloFuel. And by the way, that's confusing as well when you dig dig deep down into it. So once again, this bull run, when altcoin season hits, with the technology that Holo has and the way the organization has, let me just put it this way. The technology that Holo has, it should be at the very least $1. The technology that Holo and HoloChain has, the project is worth at least $1. Hot should be worth at least $1, at the very least. With the way the organization has been run, with the amount of tokens, and by the way, they go hand in hand. It's not necessarily the amount of tokens, but because of the way the organization is run and because of the amount of tokens, I'm expecting hot to at least get to 5 cents. And I know, and then as far as where I think it's going to go, I don't know, but the way it's looking, I'm not expecting more than 10 cents. I'm not expecting more than 10 cents. Now, is it worth more than all of that stuff? Hell yeah, absolutely. But this bull run, the way the organization has been doing things, not that they're doing anything wrong, but they just switched everything over, right? So because they just switched everything over, people are still confused. They're not very what's the word? Tangible, right? We look at a lot of these people who are creating these, their CEOs, and they're very tangible. You can see them. I shouldn't say tangible because, but you can see them and they're in front of you, and, it's like, wow, they have a lot of potential. And people start understanding. I honestly don't know why. And all of these, I know that IOTA is a Filecoin. I talked about Filecoin before. Filecoin is on Coinbase. IOTA is on Coinbase. I think Helium is on Coinbase. Look, man, I'm just trying to get a lot of people who invested a long time ago in this product and hot and HoloFuel are attempting to try to be rewarded, and they were not rewarded. They were slapped in the face and stomped in the ground, and at least that's how they feel. And you go on Twitter, and I'm sorry I don't have my Twitter up. Next time I'll have my Twitter up. But you go on Twitter and hey, this is what they're saying. And there are a lot of people who still have hope. I always have hope. I'm not selling my hot, by the way. Not until it reaches a certain amount. I do believe it'll hit 5 cents, but I think it'll maybe go a little bit above that. I'm not sure. Man, it all really depends on what they're doing with their advertising, who's on their team. They need better team members. They need to hire better people for their communication, for understanding, and personally, I think people like Matt Schutte, and I don't know if he still works. I think he still does work for Holo. Not sure, but I think people like Matt Schutte should have definitely been like the guy where people sees, the guy that kind of translate everything from elementary terms all the way up to complicated terms, so that people can understand exactly where they're trying to go, what they're trying to do, and it's to have a face, a common face. And Mary Camacho, I don't know her personally. A lot of people have been showing a lot of things on YouTube about her and her past, about her successes and her failures. I'm not going to do that. The only thing I care about right now is what's happening right now with the organization. So anyway, yeah, that's what I have. That's where I am. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I got 5 to 10 cents on this bull run, and it sucks. It really does. But it is what it is, because things are about to go haywire, and a lot of things are going to be denominated into Satoshis pretty soon, instead of being denominated into dollars. And then what's going to happen there, right? So they really need to get it together. I think there's a lot of promise. I think there's a lot of hope. They're constantly changing things. I honestly, I think they hired the wrong people. I don't know if they hired the wrong people per se, but I think maybe they need to hire more people who are better with kind of like, what's the word, spreading the word, and they don't even have to be a part of. And the way you dodge all of this lawyer stuff and everything, they don't have to be necessarily working for Holochain. They could be a person who is Holochain Holo. They could be a person who just, hey, you know what? This is a, what do they call those people? Oh man. I had the word in my head, but anyway, I know this video went a little bit long. It's been a while since I made a video, so I really appreciate you guys sticking around. We're going to see, this bull run is going to be amazing, but for who? I have no clue. So we'll see. All right, you guys. As I always say, do your own research, do your own research, do your own research, and last but not least, above all else, please, it's a crazy world out there. Please, please, please stay safe out there. Bye, you guys.